Should "In God We Trust" be the motto of these United States? Because I'm a white person, does that mean I have white privilege? Plus, why is Eminem saying F Drew Brees? Why was there feces found in the bed of Johnny Depp? And can you now make $1,000 for playing Animal Crossing? These and so many more questions will get answered today on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
He doesn't wonder what it's like on the ground in Afghanistan. He's been there, serving our country and defending Lady Liberty.
Absolutely.
It's the Joe Padula Show, Clarksville's Conversation.
Ha ha ha. Ooh. I'm ready for the weekend, but before we get there, we got some things to talk about today because this former combat correspondent, soldier with the 2nd Brigade Combat Team Strike, 101st Airborne Division, Air Assaults, is ready. I'm ready for some real talk. I am ready for some real facts. I am ready for your real opinions. And I'm definitely ready to party with a purpose. So, intern Shane, shut the door if you could. Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. Thank you, intern Shane. Haircut looks good, by the way. Here, quick, pop in the camera real quick. Show it off. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He looks like a Street Fighter character's kid. Right? Yeah.
Fresh soldier from 21st place.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Hey, thanks for checking us out. Like I said, we got a lot of things to go over here today, but hey, make sure to share this on your timeline, all right? We got this thing where they don't like, I don't know, Facebook doesn't like promoting honest and interesting conversation. Some report it as hate speech. I am not hate speech, my friends. Just trying to have a civil dialogue. Not a monologue, a dialogue. Speaking of the dialogue, what's up, Lawyer Wayne?
What's up, Joe?
What's up, Bay?
Nothing up.
Bay?
What up?
Good times at Wicked Good Trivia last night.
Where is it?
Yeah. Bay's a cook over there, by the way, at the Wicked Good. He's very good at it. Very good at it. So, yeah, we had a nice time. So, every Thursday's at Wicked Good. Shameless plug.
Glad it went good.
7 o'clock. Coach Chestnuts!
What's going on?
Oh, my God, I didn't even see you there.
Slow motion, man.
Where
Slow
you
motion.
been?
I've been teaching a 5th grader.
A 5th grader.
Yeah, they shut down the schools in New York like they did everywhere else, so my son had to come in town, and I had to get him through the 5th grade so he can make it to the 6th grade.
So, you had to go to New York.
I went to New York, brought him back here.
Did you drive? When was this?
This was the 3rd week in March.
Oh, okay, right when it was all happening. Right.
His mom had to work, so he would be stuck home by himself. Can't have that.
No.
I'm home sitting twiddling my thumbs, so I got to make sure my son make it to the 6th grade.
Now he's back. He's back in New York.
He just left Wednesday, and he's going to 6th grade with flying colors.
Did he have to be in a 14-day quarantine since Tennessee was put on that fascist list that
Yes,
New
he is
York and
enforcing-
Jersey was doing?
It's actually really enforcing it.
I know.
They took when they flew back in, they took her driver's license number and annotated her address and everything.
Yeah.
To document where they're supposed to be staying for their 14 days.
Awesome.
So New York State is definitely serious about
See,
it.
I'm using that as an excuse not to go home and visit my folks. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
I was like, I can only get a week off, but I need 14 days for the quarantine first.
Right.
So,
Right.
just not working out. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Mom and Dad. I want them to come down here. Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Oh, of course.
Nah, I don't want nobody visiting until this is over.
Not from New York,
Not from anywhere.
Oh, they're good.
Laura Wayne.
just in general.
They got the antibodies.
Yeah.
Right.
They do. Oh, they do. Oh, my father's got a hell of a story. He was working or is still working. Well, he can't retire. You know how old school people are, right? Can't retire. So he's at the veterans home there. You know, he served in Vietnam. He's
He paid his dues.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. So he works at the veterans home over there. And man, they had over 120 deaths in that freaking
I believe it, yeah.
in that veterans home. And he had it. He had it in January.
Wow.
Yeah. But he was in there going into work every day. He said they made him put on this like
Tyvek.
outbreak suit,
Yeah.
right?
Tyvek material.
And he kept on complaining. You know, it made his balls balls itch. Right.
You're going to get an angry phone call later.
The moisture buildup.
What are you talking about my balls on the show for? All right. What are you doing?
Moisty balls.
And that's an accurate impression of it. And he does sound like Tony Danza from Who's the Boss, right? Hey, Angela. Robert Russell, what's up, man?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, great to have you here. You guys hold every Wednesday. You guys have a meeting. The Atheists of Clarksville. Or did you guys change your name? Well,
It's Free Thinkers.
Free
now.
Thinkers, right? Beautiful. And you guys meet every Wednesday, and you have great conversations and debates.
We try to.
Where do you guys meet up at?
At Evil Nash Brewery.
Evil Nash.
Down
Nice.
on 10th. Yep.
That's what's up. And soon we're going to be talking about In God We Trust, because it is a national motto, but should it be? We're going to have a civil conversation about that. And that's what I love about you guys, you know? And intern Shane, on that camera, if you could pan over, because, yes, we got JoJo Jimerson. What's up, JoJo? How you doing, brother?
Doing good, Doc.
Oh, yeah, let me get that microphone up on you. Now, JoJo, I'm glad you're here, and soon we'll get you in the hot seat, because after we talk about In God We Trust, I got to know about this white privilege. I got to know. I got to know if I got it. And if I got it, how do I get rid of it? Well, maybe I'm allergic to it, but we'll find out. And are you going to be, I got a keyboard. You going to play the keyboard?
You got a keyboard for real?
No, I wish. We got one downstairs, though. We do. Where do you play?
I play at Living Word Ministries.
Awesome. But you don't sing?
No, I'm not a singer.
I love singers. I love music. I love live music. We haven't had live music in a little bit, but we'll get it back going. All right, so let's go right into this one. Here we go. Boom. Sorry, Glitch Mob. I got to put you on pause. I got to back off. See, the peas are popping. I don't like it. And I just looked at intern Shane like it's his fault.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That has nothing to do with you. You're good. All right, so In God We Trust.
All right, intern. Put that camera back where it needs to go.
Thank you, Lawyer Wayne.
I get to boss the intern around, don't I?
Ouch.
Just, he should have said please.
You don't say please to an intern.
But he's
What's the
intern
point of having
Shane.
an intern?
Hey, I'm supposed to be the harsh one on him. That was my problem. I was harsh on all the other ones that didn't last.
Oh, okay.
He's the
You're
longest
trying a
lasting intern so
trying a
far.
softer touch.
They didn't last for a day.
Please,
or-
intern.
Bay, remember?
Thank you.
Remember, I made the one girl Frankie call me Coach Padula.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't listen to me, but she would listen to her soccer coach.
Yeah.
And then I made her do push-ups.
Yeah.
She didn't last a while.
Yeah.
I bet.
Live and learn. But all right, In God We Trust. All right, it's been on the U.S. currency since 1864 here. First on the coins during the Civil War, and then paper money nearly a century later. And that was in a totally different war, a Cold War. All right, and you know they had these debates in Congress and Senate about making it on the money and the U.S. motto. And the quote is a symbolic weapon against the Soviet threat of communism and Marxism. And what's the one big thing communists didn't believe in? A higher power. So in retaliation to Soviet godlessness, I should say, in 1954, officially, under God was added to the Pledge of Allegiance. And then it was 56, I believe that you first saw it as the official motto.
Right.
Because it was changed from E pluribus, what's it called?
E
Unum,
pluribus unum.
which means of
Out of many,
out of many,
one.
One.
Right. So, and then they changed it to In God We Trust. So, in my eyes, a grand gesture to separate that freedom from communism. I get what they were doing. The Cold War, right? The big Red Scare back then. Everyone's remember, right? Mm-hmm. But yes. So Robert Russell, thank you for joining us. So why do you feel that In God We Trust should be removed?
I think there's an obvious argument that the in God that we're talking about is a singular God that has to do with the Judeo-Christian population here in the United States. So it just depends on, since the melting pot of America is so vast, that we're actually talking about multiple gods in multiple different religions across the United States. And if everybody has citizenship, then how do they express their belief in that one God? Because I don't think that when they put it on the money or put it on your license plates, they were talking about Krishna. They weren't talking about Buddha. They weren't talking about any of the other gods. So
what proof gives you that, or I'm not saying proof, what makes you think that it's endorsing one specific religion or two?
Well, because it literally says in God, not gods or higher powers, or I mean, it just kind of feels like it has a singularity to it that no one is going to subscribe to. And when you're talking about the utility of the United States, it's just a big thing that we did to push back against the Soviets. So if it stands now and we're trying to be more inclusive in all of our populations, then why do we keep up with this one motto to keep the people united?
Now, I saw the, people debate this. This has been an ongoing debate for quite some time. And I always hear the separation of church and states. Lawyer Wayne, do you know where separation of church and state, what document that's in?
Yeah, it's one of the letters from Thomas Jefferson where he was assuring a minister, I believe it was, that there would always be a wall of separation between the church and state that wouldn't be encroaching on their religion.
Right, but not in the Constitution or anything.
Now, the Constitution has what we call the Establishment Clause.
Right.
It says Congress shall not establish a religion.
Right. Now, with the as a Christian, okay, I answer to who I believe in.
Right.
Is my maker, and now when it comes to other religions, okay, Muslims they call Allah, right?
Right.
Allah, when translated into English, is.
I believe we always translate it as God.
Does it though?
Yeah. It carries a certain connotation. We know who we're talking about when we talk about Allah.
Well, yeah, you know who you're talking about when you talk about Allah, but the Judeo-Christian God is a God of three, right? He's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and Islam doesn't observe that. They have Muhammad, who was a prophet,
Right.
but they don't have their Allah as a split entity to them. So there is a defining factor there between us. They have a God that they parsec to one specific being, and we have one that moves in three fashions. The Judeo-Christians.
Now, Coach Chestnut, okay, you're involved with the Montgomery County school systems. In God we trust. Pledge of Allegiance, okay? One nation under God. Do they even do the Pledge of Allegiance in the schools anymore?
Yes, we still do the Pledge of Allegiance.
And what is the sentiment and the feeling of those doing under God in school?
To be honest with you, I think we all just do it as of a feel of nature, and we just everyone does it, so we just do it. In 6 years, I probably had maybe 1 or 2 students question it, but I just turned it into a lesson plan, and I put it to you like I feel like everyone has a right to believe and think what they want to believe, right? And I'm not gonna create a confrontation in a school environment for that anyway. If you don't want to stand for it, if you don't want to be involved in it, then my point was just sit quietly and let's get through it, and then you have that moment of silence to do whatever you need to do as your individual faith as well. So I think you're not gonna make everyone happy, but everyone has the opportunity to do what they need to do before they get their day started as well.
Hey, ever have an issue with seeing money? In God we trust, a national motto on it. A coin, a bill.
Nope.
No.
Never said I'm not going to take that.
Do you understand where the ones who do see it, maybe I don't want to say triggered the word, or do people get triggered by it?
Some probably do, if they don't believe in that faith. Everybody got their own opinion on things. And America is a Christian-based country, ain't it?
It is based on Judeo-Christian values, the foundation of it, and but I understand the argument that not everybody, has a God, like an atheist. All right, Jojo, an atheist, and intern Shane, I did that because you just sat down. Yeah, hand that camera back. I'm sorry, camera 4 is not operating at the moment. I'm sorry. Okay, Jojo. Okay, you mentioned earlier. Okay, you play the keys in your church. Okay, so a Christian church.
Yes.
Okay, and an atheist. Who do you think an atheist sees as a God or a higher being, or if any?
I can't say what an atheist sees. I can only go by what I see. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be numerous things. Some can think of. Some can think of. I think of self. I think of the environment. I think of what's in front of me. I think of facts. So I can't say what atheist thinks of because I think as a Christian. So I can't say that.
Understood. Robert, an atheist. What would an atheist like to have as the national motto, or even have a national motto?
Yeah, I mean, whatever the national motto is as long as it doesn't subscribe to some kind of higher power that can't be, factually tested against science, would probably be the national thing that we should do. I mean, it kind of throws me for a loop too, because we talk about such a spiritual aspect to people's spirituality is very personal to them.
Yeah.
So to prescribe the entire United States to a singular motto, especially on currency, right? I mean, currency is like
I read
rooted in evil.
I read some people that had some very angry things to say about putting it on the currency, and they said it cheapens. We don't want that associated with money in the first place.
Well, you put Christians on the currency.
Sure. You put presidents on the country.
Yeah.
You put important people on the currency.
Right.
I'm frankly very uncomfortable with that as the motto for a variety of reasons. I think it was probably a bad idea to do that in the first place, and I don't like the motivations that it came from.
See, I don't mind the motivation that it came from.
When you look at the history of it, it sounds like both when they started doing it back originally and especially during the Cold War, it tended to suggest that God is on our side in this conflict, in the conflict with communism, or in the conflict with the Union versus the Confederates, when it took off too. To call upon, to put that on your money as if you're going to call upon God's favor, that to me is a bad motivation. I thought a lot about the motto in terms of, it never bothered me because I agree with it. But just because I agree with it doesn't mean it's right. Right for everybody. If we said our national motto was, Allah is God and Muhammad is his prophet, that would make a lot of people very uncomfortable, because they say, look, I'm not a Muslim.
Right.
Why is that the national motto? Is this a Muslim nation?
But then I look at it, the word God itself.
Right.
It doesn't mean Christian God. It doesn't mean Jewish God. I get who created it for in that.
God.
But for an atheist or a Buddhist or someone who worships multiple gods,
A Satanist who is God. Satan.
It certainly doesn't make you feel. It suggests that the country has taken a position, right? And as an American, we have this idea of, you do not have to share. We are not a Christian country. We're a country full of Christians from the beginning, and still are to a great extent. But we don't hold ourselves out as being a Christian nation the way other countries, like England has the Church of England. Other countries are explicitly Muslim.
Well, we know why the Church of England was created.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted
America,
a divorce.
America wasn't founded that way. In fact, it was founded as the opposite. It was intended to be welcoming to, if you want to come here and be of any religion or of no religion at all, that you are just as much an American. And when you create a motto that is explicitly religious like that, I have to worry, one, is it unwelcoming to those in minorities? And two, if we allow that kind of thing, if someday I, or the people that believe like me, are on the wrong side of it, have we opened up the door to, say, a Muslim motto or an atheist motto or something like that? Because just because the Christians, form a majority at some point in the past or even now, doesn't mean they always will.
Well, then what should the motto be? Okay? What should be on that currency?
Let's see. Facebook comments. I'm surely
Yeah.
somebody has suggested a better motto by now.
Well, I mean, is the answer going back to e pluribus unum?
Any politician that were to suggest that now would experience a lot of blowback, right? I think that would just, as they always would, but the culture wars and such, they're just going to open themselves up to people saying all kinds of nasty things about them.
They ain't gonna do it during an election year anyway.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not
That
this.
conversation we had.
So on a
in
practical
March-
level, I don't think anyone's got the guts to do that right now.
Maybe we should take all the presidents off the dollar bills and put state flags and animals.
No.
The state flags are very problematic, and
I
animals are too.
I just say we create more bills, like a $7 bill. Okay. All right.
We need more.
Here's a $12 bill.
We need a greater variety of
Yes.
bills. That's your.
I agree.
that's your
That's
plan.
my answer. All right.
Or just
That'll
you-
go on all the bitcoins.
Yeah.
what's the Tennessee state motto? Do we have a state motto?
Yeah. Go Vols.
Is it Go Vols?
It's
a
Go
volunteer
Vols.
state.
I know we're the volunteer state, but do we have a motto?
Alexa.
I'm sure we do.
What? Alexa, stop playing music. Alexa, what is the Tennessee state motto?
The motto of Tennessee State University is Think, Work,
State.
Serve.
Yeah, that's the state university.
That's boring.
My wife suggests that the motto be "A fool and his money are soon parted." That would be good on money. Yeah, print that on the money.
A penny saved is a penny earned. There's our motto.
That's pretty good.
Leader be led.
Jojo, what do you think? What should be the motto? Should we change it?
Should we change it? That's a hard answer.
Intern Shane, this is your cue, yeah.
Because I think the whole thing is based off like how people present, how they look at it. Because I look at the whole ends of like if you started a country, if you found or you let's say I just found some land and I took over. This is the land I got. Boom. What would I start it on? You're gonna start it on your own beliefs. But if you also welcome everybody else to join in, would you want people to come in and change what you have started? So it's like it's one of those things like I'm welcoming you in, come join in and be a part of it. But then once you come into my house, hey, you need to change that light bulb, you need to change that picture because, you see what I'm saying? It's like you're welcoming people in. But I look at it, they probably wasn't looking at the ends of offending people. They'll look at the ends, this is where I grew up on. This is a nation, we want to give everybody free rights to come in, believe what you want to believe. But I think, man, when we push in towards other beliefs, like, hey, now you need to respect our beliefs, we're not pushing that on you.
Yeah.
So, but it comes back the other way, like, hey, you need to change that, because I think also it's that passive aggressive thing. Like we're being passive, like we train, hey, you can believe what you want to believe, but then some people take that as this is an opportunity as well as like, let me change it towards what I want to, because that's what I want.
What is the saying? Give an inch.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll take them out. What JoJo says is kind of the legal reasoning why we don't have problems in America. You can imagine people complain and say, "In God we trust." Why? They challenge that in court. And what he says about the idea of if you're founding a new country, that you're going to found it on the principles that you believe, is basically the reason why things like the national motto and putting under God in the pledge and such have survived legal challenges. If you think about it, the Declaration of Independence is tied up with the founding of the country, and it speaks of a creator endowing us with rights and such. It's bound up in the principles of what founded the country. And if we start to say, look, any acknowledgement of the idea of a higher power is against, say, the Constitution, well, you might say, well, why are we even allowed to display the Declaration of Independence at this point? So the courts have basically said, look, it's okay to acknowledge that the founding principles of the country had these ideas for their institutions. What that means to us today is a debate that, we're having now.
Right. And Robert, you bring up a good point, because it's not like, and yeah, that's your cue. He's killing it, though. He's killing it. I love it.
I like it.
Now, it's not like it's one or two groups that are pushing for this. It is a decent amount of people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a majority, but that doesn't make any difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My argument, my biggest argument always is that because religion is so ingrained in our national culture, and especially when you have so much religious text on parts of the state where we don't feel like it should be, I guarantee you that the single largest loser of any political campaign would be any person in America right now that would run on a completely atheistic platform. If someone stood up to run for Congress or Senate, mayor, anything, if they came out and said that they do not believe in God and it is not a part of their core belief system, they would not be voted in. It's the hardest thing to run on.
That is kind of true, and there are people that do fake religion as they run for political offices. I mean, we all have seen that.
It becomes like a talking point.
Yeah.
It's because it should be uniquely personal to you. It shouldn't have any really real bearing on your moral or ethical aptitude to run for a service in the United States, but it does for some reason because it's so ingrained.
One thing I can't stand when I watch politicians at all levels, local, state, federal, you got a white politician that goes into a black church, okay, and tries to clap and beat. All right, it's painful. It is painful. It's painful. Coach Chestnut, ever see it?
Yes.
We've seen it.
Not only
Are
that.
you suggesting that white people don't have rhythm?
No, some don't.
That's
I
a little
do.
racist.
I used to be a break dancer.
I know you did.
Okay.
I saw you try to rap yesterday.
Oh yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm a little out of practice, but I don't know. For me personally, going back to what I was talking about with the creation of the motto and its origin, I still believe personally that In God We Trust is in place to remind us that we are not like a communist country or a Marxist nation that was introduced when it was introduced anyway, and that there is something above government, whether it be, for me, a higher power like my God, or, I don't know, for other people who don't have a God. I look at it as if they are their own God, if they will. They're in control of their own life.
Okay.
I live for a higher power. And it could be that if I didn't have a God, I would live for me. I do what I do because I'm told by words that were in a book given from my God. If I didn't have that God, I would just be doing what I feel is right based on my own
Intuition. Yeah.
Right.
But then again, you don't have to touch money. Everything on a prepaid card nowadays.
Yeah, that's right. Soon it's going to be on our debit cards.
You don't even have to mess with money. You don't want to mess with it.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
How did this all come about? Like, how did the conversation in your group come about? The statement on money. What was the origin of the conversation?
Oh, we haven't
I think
had.
it was Joe's idea. I think it was Joe's
Oh, it was
idea to have
Joe's
us
idea.
talk about it today.
Okay.
Yeah, when we meet on Wednesday nights down at Evil
I thought
Nash.
someone made a comment and then.
So we meet on Wednesday nights down at Evil Nash Brewery, and we just kind of pick a random topic, anything, if it's philosophical or current events. A lot of COVID stuff now.
I bet.
And everything that's going on, but we just pick it, and then we just pick it to pieces until we.
What's the address of Evil Nash? What street is that?
I think it's 10th Street.
Yeah, it's on
10th
10th
Street.
10th
Yeah.
Street. It's the old Pick a Rib.
Right.
You remember where the old Pick a Rib?
Evil Nash Wednesdays. What time you guys gather?
Somewhere between 6:30 and 7 most of the time.
And that's what I love about you guys' group. You're able to have conversation because you go on Facebook today or social media or Instagram or anything, and it's all the angry stuff.
Well, that's what we tried to get into, was bringing groups of people together to talk face to face, so that you didn't get to hide behind a keyboard. You actually had to meet them face to face and realize that even though you differed, you could still have a beer and discuss things. But I mean, a lot of the things that we talk about aren't always argumentative or debatable. It's just
conversation,
just thinking out loud. Yeah, just thinking out loud.
That's what's
up.
Like we should bring, like, once a month we should bring you in and
Sure.
you bring up a topic.
Oh yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool
for sure.
So yes, don't forget Wednesdays, Evil Nash. Okay, 7 o'clock ish. All right, get there, get your drinks, and man, have some good conversation. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. All right, coming up next. Well, I'm a white guy, right? And I don't feel like I have white privilege, but yet a new friend of mine, okay, on his Facebook page, I was seeing these posts, and it was claiming that people like me, have it. So to discuss it, JoJo Jimerson, he's going to join us to go over it all. Pretty fly for a white guy is next on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
Hey, this is Coach Chestnut at the Joe Padula Show. What I like most about Joe is get an opportunity to talk and share our stories here in Clarksville. Absolutely.